Let's try this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pendragon, episode 12 of the Great Pendragon campaign. I'm your host, Bob. With us are three great players. It's going to be a short night, so we're going to do really quick intros, and we'll probably just say goodnight rather than doing outros tonight and kind of tag these as part one and a part two story. So, with that, I'll pass it on to Thomas.
Hello, I'm Thomas. I am part of the reason why the game will be so short. I have dinner to make, and I am sick as a dog. If you hear me coughing, I apologize, but it's good to be back.
I too am.
Hello.
And Mark. Sorry.
Hi, I am Mark. I am here playing Sir Edward, and I will be here for the time that we are here for. Yeah.
And Liam.
Hi everybody. I'm the other half of the reason why we're calling it early tonight. I got work tomorrow. But I'm Liam. I'm playing Sir Dalan of Durnford, and I'm very excited to be lost in the woods. I am naked and afraid, or at least afraid.
One of those things is true.
One of those things will be true.
One of those things causes the other.
So just a quick note to hold on. So for tonight, I had something really useful. So let's just move on. Good start. Good start. It'll come to me, I'm sure. But maybe let's, because it's been a couple weeks. We have Dalan starting off in the board. So we're gonna start with Sir Dalan.
Oh, oh no.
Indeed.
Does that plus 200 sword roll that I made come into effect here?
So
Your vorpal blade goes snick a snack.
Dalan, do you recall Liam when we left off? Dalan is all kind of even before he failed the roll, he struggled with the awareness of their surroundings and what's taking place around them.
Correct. A lot of shit was happening down in last session.
What you remember is fleeing and heading back due south, heading for Salisbury. You're not sure how much time's passing. Decided to turn and but that sense of abandoning your mission, your king's homage, and Lord's decree stays with you. You find yourself walking through dark forests at night, or not walking, riding through a dark forest path at night. You're heading due east. And the madness is with you. So the way this kind of reflects for you players is just think about having the equivalent of a nervous breakdown. That might be a good way to put it, right? Everything you knew that was stable and structured in your mind is kind of thinner. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you continue to ride through the night, you have a brief memory. The memory of Elizabeth Dalan. Two are mere children staying near the Avon River bank, which is where your home is. You're skipping rocks into the water. Here, your father and your lord riding out in the field together. It's one of your most fond memories, but you've never really placed why. It's just one of the true moments of peace that you've. Why don't you give us some insight into what Dalan might be?
I know exactly what Dalan is thinking you're doing, and I'm going to say it with a dialogue.
Perfect.
Dalan kind of throws a rock into the river. Or sorry, not Dalan. Elizabeth throws a rock into the river and kind of lets out a long sigh. And she goes, I don't understand. Why is it that you have to be the one to go out? Why can't you stay here? Why? It just seems so unfair.
Because the fates saw that, or God, he would say, God saw that I was born a boy and you a girl.
Well, he certainly didn't do much to make sure that that was worthy of unbalancing us. I mean, how many times have I thrown you into the river? At least as much as you have. Likely more.
This is true. Your brother kind of laughs at that. Even still, when the time is right, parents will. I think you'll find that a dress is becoming on you. He smiles at that. He is being playful. He knows dresses.
I don't mind the dresses, I mind the company. I don't want to be bored my whole life. You're going to see such adventure, and I can't help but feel a little jealous.
Sister, perhaps when I return from being a squire, knighted, I'll take you away with me on one of these adventures. Ride side by side.
Elizabeth's whole face perks up immediately, and she goes, You mean it? Oh, Dalan, that would be wonderful. I can't wait to see outside of the county and maybe even other lands. Oh, that would be amazing.
Wouldn't it? Perhaps we'll have the opportunity. For now, I think Father needs us, just as our Lord.
And I will do my duty as is required of me. But don't forget for a second I won't be thinking about being out there with you. I know I can watch your back just in the same way that you've always watched mine.
He smiles at you. Of course. My sister, I do have a gift for you.
Oh?
Give me.
Shouldn't I be giving you a gift since you're leaving?
Test awareness for me.
Awareness. Haha, I've got grown-up Dalan's awareness. It's much better than it was. That is a 13 out of 15, a success.
Things going crazy. Okay. Sorry. You see a mud pie in his hand, trying to hold it behind his back. And just about then, he turns and tries to smoosh it right in your face. Why don't you give me a dex roll?
Oh, shit. Oh, he's dead. I'm going to kill him.
Destroy him, Elizabeth.
Oh, my dex isn't very good. Okay, here we go. No!
Oh, you eat it right in the face. Mouth half open. That yucky, watery, slimy taste of the mud, river embankment mud that you're all too familiar with.
You little wretch! And I'm gonna suplex him into the water. He's going in with me.
Right. I don't think there's actually there's a hand-to-hand, isn't there? But I will. You know what? I'll just give me a strength. In this case.
I'm very good at that one.
Suplex skill.
Custom suplex. That is a 7 out of 15.
And so realistically, you know, little Elizabeth was not a 15 at the time, but nevertheless,
she was stocky for her age.
Yeah, you were better than him. So he moves to run, and you grab his wrist, stop him, and kind of use your weight, and end up flinging him right into the mud and water face first. He gets up, laughing and coughing a bit on the water from the river. I guess I deserve that one.
Yeah, you think? You should know that everything that you do, I do worse. Or better? Oh, forget it. And she offers him a hand.
He takes it. It's about then that you see up ahead, just a ways, river crossing. And with that, we're going to cut over to Thomas, Winterborn Stark. Stoke, not Stark. Wrong game.
Wrong game.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, that's probably my mind probably put this together automatically. All right. So Thomas, just because we
Yes.
haven't visited Winterborn Stoke in a while, do you remember? Why don't you remind us what you remember of your uncle?
The sniveling coward? No,
Yes.
no. Yes, Goratrix has mostly mellowed out about that, mostly. But generally, his uncle was or rather, he is the de facto castellan of Winterborn Stoke Manor, taking over after, essentially after Goratrix's other uncle and Goratrix's father, who were less than stellar administrators themselves. But yes, he recently, in the battle that took Goratrix's father's life, ran and hid instead of doing noble battle against people who were far more experienced at combat. And for that, Goratrix holds it against him irrationally and unreasonably.
Missed a golden opportunity to call him Brave Sir Robin.
Yes, he bravely ran away.
So that is all true. He is basically the steward in equivalent of a regent for Lord. What's your
For my
primary?
other dude, Edric.
Edric. Yeah. So Edric is still a squire and away from Winterborn Stoke. So the Bledig is de facto acting lord of the manor, and the land and peasants.
Quite so.
You find yourself, after probably a bit of searching for your companion, I'm thinking that it'd be fair to say that Edward and Goratrix would return home in hopes that they would find news of Sir Dalan here. Is that fair?
Yes. Goratrix would absolutely send letters to family. I didn't find them in the woods, and I don't think they're dead. So what gives? Where are they?
Because you managed to keep your mind pretty clear through all that took place, what you'd note is that there are a great many of the returning soldiers, those who did return, seem very confused. A lot of them don't really understand if they went to war or not, if they raided or not. It's I think you had already had suspicion that there was magic involved. I think with your pagan instincts, you almost certainly verified mind at least that this was.
Goratrix, was certain there was magic involved. He didn't quite like it, especially not when they tried to guilt trip him.
Another thing that I didn't share for the two of you that you would have picked up because you were part of, you actually sat in on that tent. King Cadwy remains King Cadwy in Summerland is one of the conditions. Even though he is Count of Summerland, as far as Logos is concerned. So he's like a petty king.
Right. So, subordinate to Uther, but still keeps title.
And he is to call himself Count before the king himself.
Personally, I don't understand that arrangement, but if it works for the counts,
it's strange, even for the idea of petty kings. This is very abnormal. Whatever conditions they came up with, and this seems to be probably the strangest. Okay, so We're going to set the scene just very briefly with Lydig. He has called you to him to receive a letter that's come your way from Sarum.
Indeed. Oh, yes, absolutely. Goratrix spends most of his days at Winterbourne Stoke Manor doing Goratrix stuff, which is mostly training, mostly helping with the horses, and generally if there are peasants who go, who, have problems and they're not important enough for the Castellan, Goratrix can deal with things more or less. But yeah, at hearing that he was summoned, he will go, approaching through the old stone halls. Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Thus far, the spring, there's been no real trouble with your peasants that you had prior. Or
And
bandits.
thank God, we were losing a lot of horses all the time.
Yeah. So at this point, Ledig says, my nephew, please come in.
And the general friendliness and big himbo energy, which characterizes Goratrix, is muted slightly as he lays eyes on his uncle. And he says, "Uncle," and we'll step through the door with him.
I've received this letter in your stead. You are called by the Count Roderick. Attend Sarum quite soon. Seems you are being called to something called the Betrothing Company. Aware of anything that might be related to?
It is a strange name for a. Oh no! And then instantly, like memories flash through his brain as we're gonna have to help someone very important get betrothed, and we don't have Sir Dalan with us. And yet, with that look on his face, the same look that I'm sure Bloodick has seen many a time at a dinner, he goes, "Yep, yeah, I know what that is."
Are you sure? Seem distraught with this news. It doesn't sound dreadful.
I mean, I would prefer going to war. I would prefer going to war, Uncle. I have to aid someone very important with courtship, and I don't know how. It will probably be fine.
Very well, very well. Someone important, you say. He leans in. It's Roderick, isn't it?
The extra-dimensional entity controlling me took notes, but he can't find them.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Which one was it? Was it Roderick?
Count Roderick, yep.
It is. It is Count Roderick. He is looking for a wife.
I was aware. Well, it's good news that he'll be taking part in this. Though you lack some of those subtle skills of the court, your honesty will play out nicely, well paired with those other knights that you've been spending time with. What are their names? The Bachelor Knight
Edward
of
and Dalan.
Idmiston, the other of Durnford.
He may be a bastard by birth, but his nobility knows no bounds.
Of course, yes.
But that said, yes, subtlety. I will completely give you that. Oh man, Edward will have a bad time as well. I'm self-aware to know this. It will probably be fine.
I do have other news for you.
Of course.
Sometimes in tragedies, opportunities arise.
Of what do you speak?
With your father's passing, I've decided
Yes, I remember most intimately.
I've decided to offer you his previous wages as a bachelor knight. You will retain your existing and maintain his, as you are currently the acting knight.
Certainly. They are big shoes to fill, but I can do it, and I would be honored.
Give me an
Also, I
intrigue
thought I could
roll.
call yes. Intrigue roll. His family is good at this. He is not. Let's see.
Oh,
And
they're
his
aware.
uncle would know. Yeah, they are very aware. Failure. Pretty hefty, but not a fumble.
I'm gonna
Sure
say
is a
that.
shame.
Yeah, you're not picking.
Sure.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, sure is a shame that Dalan's fucking off into the woods right now, because
Yeah.
This would be their
Just
bread and
step
butter.
in front of him, going, "Wait a moment."
So at this point, he says, as you know, knights of household knights, which is yourself, right? Bachelors, mostly because their wages would not allow them to maintain wife.
Indeed.
I've received news that our dearest neighbor, Lord Berwick St. James, did not return from the Summerland invasion.
Now I'm connecting dots in my head. Goratrix is not. Yes, a terrible tragedy. Why?
While they are our neighbors, Lady Berwick St. James maintains her title. She has no heir, or Lord Berwick St. James has no heir. She,
It is
for
a
now,
terrible
has
tragedy.
maintained the title of head of the manor. A lord such as Lord Roderick would be remiss, Count Roderick would be remiss to pull away such a title. Suitor knight, betrothed.
One can only hope that a honorable knight, well, catches her heart.
I love it. Yes, one tall and handsome and strong knight. Tell me, can you think of any that might match such a title?
Let us see. Sir Edward is not far from here. And he is a bachelor.
Yourself.
Can I make another intrigue roll?
Yeah. You can add a +5.
I'm loving this too
oh,
much.
buddy.
Hold on. And like in the back of his head, his mother and father are like screaming, "How don't you connect the dots?" And he's like unsure why. Myself. That's what you were leading into?
It would offer us a great opportunity going forward. If we had family in Berwick St. James and Winterbourne Stoke, we would have a better opportunity for our Lord Knight to one day become a banneret.
You heard what I said about the whole courtship thing earlier, right? I would be more comfortable going to war. I have been. With the wages increasing, I could certainly support one, and if it's good for the family, I shall do it, but I am inexperienced. It took me 3 minutes to know that you were referring to myself.
He just smiles and pats you on the shoulder and says, "For now, you should ride out to Sarum. I'm sure our count is waiting." allow me to look into arrangements, perhaps a meeting, before the opportunity is lost. We would want to move on such a thing before Christmas court, lest we lose the opportunity entirely. A woman such as that, no longer a maid, but head of a household, still in her 20s. I believe that it's only a matter of time until another acts if not. And better to know our neighbors than an enemy. He knows. So, is it fair to say that Thomas, that at some point Goratrix has mumbled about Sir Jareth?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
He'd be
he
like-
has. In his sleep, he sleep strangles an invisible Sir Jareth.
He says it would sure be terrible to offer someone such as Sir Jareth an opportunity to move on such an arrangement as this.
I know you're manipulating me, but I'm completely down with it. I hate that thing.
He nods. All right, I think we'll wrap that scene there.
Indeed.
How on earth is it that you hate Sir Jareth more than the guy that Sir Jareth wronged? That guy is Sir Edward. He hates everything.
Goratrix is down for his friends all the time. If you had told Goratrix about your interest in the Lady Knight, he would have wingmanned. And it would have been exactly as awkward as you're imagining.
All right.
I'm not certain how this works, and I'm not certain it's physically possible, but emotionally, I'm sure you're compatible. Yes.
Definitely Sir Dalan. He would definitely, yes.
Yes, Dalan would make a good husband.
I didn't say
Notice how he-
otherwise.
Yes. He specifically didn't mention Sir Dalan.
It's awesome.
But yes, sorry about that.
No worries. We're going to cut back to the crossing. This is back to Sir Dalan. See the glade ahead, and the path continues to move across. You've just passed over the narrow waterway. Some large stones made the path rather easy. This is a off the beaten path sort of trail, one that's easy to follow. As you find yourself in the glade ahead, why don't you give me a test spiritual?
Ooh, okay. All right. That's a skill that I think I have very little in. Oh no,
It's a
all right.
virtue, yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Is
Oh, Nelly.
Hey,
that
critical.
a critical?
That's a critical.
Critical spiritual.
Critical
Go-
spiritual.
Go ahead and tick that.
Hell yeah. I'm going to balance it back out, baby. I am at 911 in Worldly's favor, so let's get ready to move that back.
And you can also tick fairy lore automatic.
Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
You're not in Kansas anymore. As you wander through this forest, you feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand tall. There's a low mist to the ground, and the moon is like bright, almost a purple color. The chill on the wind. You're not sure why, but you feel confident this is. Perhaps it's the color of the moon. Perhaps it's the forest light at night. Just the fogginess over your brain. But you feel as this is the work of the realms of the fairies.
What
Moreover,
sorcery is this?
you feel where you are is less than inviting. You've crossed into another place. You look behind you. crossing that you just came.
Fuck, I've been spirited away. God damn it. All right.
But the road continues on, or the path does.
Dalan, seeing that the path behind me is gone, is gonna grip her blade by the hilt and steady on as confidently as possible, just trying to, like, keeping eyes open, but also trying to project that they are not something to be messed with, Not necessarily like, hey, I own this place, but more of like, I am not worth the trouble.
Roger that. I'll get you to test awareness. Continue down the path.
14 out of 15.
Just a moment ago, you were wandering on a straight path, but now the path's kind of windy, moving down a small hill. And the fog seems to move strange ways. You see a clearing up ahead, several hundred meters. And you see a mounted knight in front of you. At least you think it's a knight. Their armor is strange. They have a closed helm, one that seems out of the ordinary for its time and era. Just from an out-of-character perspective, plate mail is not a thing
I
right
getcha.
now.
I can't wait for it to be, though.
And the front of the helm itself seems to protrude extraordinary long in a cylinder, poking out. It's like the end of a spear.
Dalan will kind of approach from a safe distance and cock their head and goes, "Whoa there. Who might you be, Sir Knight?"
It's not I who need to declare myself, trespasser. Crossed into my realm.
Dalan will just kind of tense up a little bit. Forgive me, I seem to have lost my way. I am Sir Dalan of Durnford.
Dalan of... No, you're not.
It is what I go by.
Honor is... It is a fool's errand. See that used it for... steal the identity. Sir Dalan. You know him.
I do. But I do not take his name for my own gain.
Take it.
For the love of my family, so that they may maintain prosperity in dark times. It is my duty.
Duty. Yet another fool knight. He rides forward at this point. You see
And what
him...
do you...
sorry.
Go ahead, sorry. No, go ahead.
I'm just going to put this on the 20 here so you can see it.
Oh.
You see him... So, sorry, that was big.
Hello, sir. How you doing here?
Goratrix's uncle appears.
Oh.
Now, I speak of marriage.
Interesting.
You see, as he raises his helm, you can see very obvious green skin and pointy, sorry, my brain is not functioning right now. His chin and nose are long features.
Dalan's taken aback for a moment, but they're too weirded out by the situation to take too much stock in it right now. So Dalan will just kind of take a step forward and go, "And what is it that you know of my nature?" to judge me so harshly.
Know that your kind will not allow you dress as one in here.
Is that a crime? Is that so wrong?
To take the name of another, a knight from another realm now, claim his.
Ooh. When he says that, Dalan feels it in their heart. Just, they had never been sure. And hearing it hits hard. But still, I honor his memory by fighting in his name. He will be a legend, and he will have earned it. If not by fighting such battles by his own hand, by inspiring mine.
And you will face me now, Sir Knight. Should you win, I'll grant you one fail joust. My prisoner.
To what end?
Only faithful to
And do I have the right to refuse?
gave up that. With that, he drops his helm, or drops the face of his helm.
So be it. And Dalan will also get into position. They are very purposefully not going to make any move until the knight does. The knight gets the first strike here.
This would be a joust, so you technically could.
Oh, jousting.
Yeah, yeah. He's on horse as well, or steed.
Joust. Hell yeah. I'm so ready.
So just to keep the pacing going, this does cut, and it cuts to Idmiston.
Oh, I am enjoying the hell out of this one, boys.
Indeed.
Right. So, Mark, Sir Edward,
Yeah.
give me 1 sec here to have a cough fit. All right. You have an opportunity, having just gotten back. Maybe we'll talk for a second about Edward. Because Edward didn't get out of Summerlin quite as scot-free as Goratrix, right? He suffered.
Yeah.
But in the end, you were able to walk away rather victoriously. Still a sense of confusion and loss, I think, as you left. That sense of being a bastard has never stayed with you more than your ride home. And as you get back, maybe we'll take a moment to talk about the couple of people in your manor. Best far. Just pull it out open here. So in Idmiston, your player character to be and the future lord of the manor is Sir Florence, right? Nope. Yes, because I did.
What a roller coaster.
Yeah, I did some mixing up here, my friends. I'm sorry about this. Bledig, the guy we just saw on screen, was actually.
Oh, that's
that's
my uncle.
Yeah, it's your uncle.
Oh,
Yeah, Balric.
I admit, I've
Yeah.
forgotten my family tree. So
I rolled on the
didn't,
random
I
generator and I ended up with 2 dudes with B names. So
Should I gasp in Spanish?
Right? They're the same person. Dun, dun, dun. So Balric looks a little more cowardly, and Blood looks a little bit more like Littlefinger. I guess it's the best way to phrase this too.
Yeah.
So we'll go back. So Blood has been looking after things while you're away. He wishes to actually speak with it.
Okay. I'd say probably like as soon as Edward got back, he'd be very quiet and spend most of the time by himself. But eventually, he would accept the invitation from his uncle to speak. Edward's just been taking the time to kind of process what was going and kind of just not being very alright with it and trying to find a peace in it and really struggling to kind of come to grips with it. So I imagine as we see Edward, he's probably looking a little haggard, probably quite tired, got like lines, under his eyes, and yeah.
With that, you see him in stark contrast, very comfortable. You enter actually as he's eating. He's munching away on some a larger plate of food than a single sort of thin man such as him needs. Very much splurging, to speak. He seems to have positioned himself quite nicely here. Just checking, am I still connected?
Yep.
Yes.
Cameras.
Oh yes, it looks like we're frozen.
No big deal. We'll just
Oh
do that.
no.
There we go. They're back. Be back. All right.
Excellent.
Sometimes if I minus the Discord, it'll do that. I have to remember to keep it open. Okay. So at this point, he looks rather comfortable, and it's just kind of one of those scenes. It's very clear that there's a difference between Edward. He seems very comfy, cozy at home, very comfortable in his banquet room, all by himself at this long table. While you come in, probably a bit under-eaten from the road and tired and altogether beaten down. My boy, not seen you in some time. How was the conquest in Summerland?
Yes, it was eventful.
See, well, you've returned to us. That's more than many luxury of saying. Welcome back.
Yes. Thank you, Uncle.
I wanted to update you, though I'm afraid that altogether heartwarming. We've still been unable to locate any.
Hmm. Edward kind of looks down slightly, thinking about it for a few moments, before kind of looking up, kind of a cold look appearing on his face. Is that all, Uncle?
Well, I guess it's worth noting that we sent some of our best servants to try and identify your mother amongst those hanged, mutilated in the forest. There was no sign of your mother amongst them. Be remiss to see you lose hope, survival. She is missing. Not
Yes. Missing. Is there anything of importance you wish to speak of, Uncle, or may I return to my business?
There's one more consideration.
And that is.
Morganor, your father, of course, passed, and he left 2 boys. So as you know, the heir and the spare are covered. And then, of course, there's you and Cadfile.
He left three boys. Florence's 2 brothers.
Oh, yeah. He did. Sorry. 3 boys.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's you and Cadfile. Well, this presents some opportunities in the future. We're left with only you as it dawned on me with the news coming out of Summerland. We would be in a very dangerous spot if we die or go, or even be held ransom, be without a protector. I think that with me as regent, for now, till Florence is of age, it would be to our advantage to recruit at least one more bachelor knight. Have the funds.
Is there someone you would like to suggest?
No, actually, I don't have anyone in mind, but I'd like you to keep an eye out.
Very well, Uncle. I will keep an eye on any possible candidates.
Very well,
Is
then.
that all?
Yes, it is.
With that, I think Edward would turn around, beginning to make his way out. And as he gets to the doorway, kind of stumbles slightly, slamming his shoulder into the door and going, taking
At
a moment. Just,
that point, your squire Cadfile's there, and he looks up to you and says, Everything all right, Edward?
I'm fine, Cadfile.
You
I'm fine.
need me to tend to anything for you?"
No. Just continue to look after the horses and polish my armor or something.
"Oh, yes, you'll be needing that, actually. We're to ride to Sarum tomorrow. I I forgot to tell you.
Right. I did make that promise, didn't I? Very well. Wake me in the morning. That he's just going to begin to walk off.
Is there anything Edward would do, or what's his current? Obviously, he's not in a great place. That's very clear.
Yeah.
Anything in particular? What would he be spending his time doing right now?
I think it's mostly just in a bit of a funk, like either sharpening his sword with no real like intent or interest, or just like sitting in like his chambers with like the pagan symbol, just kind of staring into it for a long time, and just like just sleepless nights of lying awake and wandering the grounds aimlessly, just trying to find something to focus on. Just not in a very good place in general.
Give me a spiritual roll.
Okay. Let's go.
I believe, and you believe too.
Success!
Right.
Somehow. Uh,
Champion of
Nights,
the house.
night, you have a dream. You find yourself with that necklace on you, and then your mother's pendant. Then ahead of you, see a woman walking She's garbed in yellow. She waves to you. She turns to your mother. She continues to walk down the path. You feel a bit of control in this dream, like side your action.
I think almost instinctively Edward's just going to step forward, trying to reach out towards his mother, but I imagine for every step he takes a step forward, she just seems to get further away from him. He tries to push past it, try and get to her. Just can't get over the yellow cloak, seeing it, feeling something in the back of his mind. But I think his curiosity gets the better of him and he will attempt to follow.
The curiosity gets a bit. Sorry?
And he follows forward after her.
You find yourself in what little clothes you wear at night, out in the field. You reach forward, you awake almost as if sleepwalking. Find yourself covered in mud. Just in front of you are the stables. And from the tree line, you see several figures in yellow cloaks watching. They're quite a ways away. Can't really make out any of their features because, well, one, it's night, and two, they're very, very far away.
I think Edward kind of looks at them, squints, and would instinctively go for his sword, only to find it's not there. And he just kind of stares at them for a moment, feeling kind of the cold breeze of the night and the mud across his skin. Tries to concentrate and think. He looks among them. They're all masked, right? Or masked.
Yeah.
Okay. I think he's just going to take a deep breath and then attempt to take a step forward towards them to see what they do next. Or while he does so, he whispers a prayer under his breath.
You wake up in your bed. It's morning. Cadfile is there. Master. Edward. Master Edward.
Cadfael, what is the meaning of this?
You asked me to ready everything for you, my lord. If we don't get on the road soon, we'll be late.
Right. Oh, crap. With that, he'd just begin to get up. Prepare horses. I'll be down immediately.
Of course. With that, he leaves quickly to walk away. Before we close this scene here, I'm going to get you to give me an awareness test.
Success. Oh, almost a crit.
You put your feet on the ground, kicking them off the bed. Stand up. And when you look down, you notice that your knee all the way down to your caked in mud.
Ooh.
I just stands there staring at them for a moment. His hands kind of coming down and taking a bit of mud and kind of pressing it between his fingers. Just kind of stares off for a moment, wondering if it was actually a dream or if this is something that happened. At which point he'd stand, wash himself off, and
Be on the way.
with the rest of his day.
Right. We're going to go back to with that to the duel.
Oh, do we have to?
Kick his ass, Dalan.
Oh, I will.
Spear him in the chest.
I mean, actually, honestly, I'm really good at jousting, so we'll see how this goes.
You've got to worry out for two things. Three. One, the
Mm.
spear. The
Mm.
other, the nose and the chin. So don't get hit
Oh,
by any of
sharp
those.
objects.
Potentially
Yeah.
magic too. Who knows what kind of fairy magic
The chin.
this green
chin.
knight, if you will, may be using.
Just watch out for the chin.
I'll watch out for the chin.
Just to
comes down.
get away
Yeah.
from the use of the Green Knight, your fairy lore success. He is most certainly a goblin. In fact, he is the goblin.
It's a goblin. The Goblin Knight. That's adorable. I know he's not, but like it is, you know?
Yeah.
You imagining him as like 3 foot
Goblin,
tall?
Yes.
He's not tiny. He would probably be considered what they consider a hobgoblin, which is different than the hobgoblin. There's
Yeah.
larger goblins.
I know, but also it helps Liam to imagine him as small and very energetic.
I get it. All right.
All right.
So, hold on. It's been a minute since we've done any sort of charge. Give me a sec.
Yeah, take your time. I'm gonna roll probably a horse and then a lance, and then I'm gonna die.
Let me just, you know what? I don't think we've actually done a legitimate joust. I think we've done a charge, which might be slightly different. I'm gonna see if there's verification for that. Sorry. We might just make a quick go at this by testing those two things. Look up the jousting rules later.
I'll look through them now. Just try and find it.
Jouster's land skill. I think it's just joust, and then horsemanship is applied when you're to stay. Like you make those tests. You make horsemanship tests whenever you are, whenever you face knockdown, right?
Is there a joust skill, or is it just lance?
Lance. Yeah.
Lance, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so lance time, yes?
I think so. I think we'll go with that. Sorry, I'm just
Alrighty.
seeing if it pops up quickly.
I won't get mad if it's not perfect next time. You know, if we find out that it wasn't done
Yeah.
perfectly. So
I'll rule
You're right,
this.
though. It is. Yeah.
It is
Oh, yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
alrighty, no modifier.
One sec here. Correct, because you are in a position where you can't call in a passion for the rest of this. Here.
All right, here we go. Rolling that dice. Here we go.
At least you don't have to get a crit this time.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
that's a fumble, Bob.
Oh.
Oh, that's interesting. Give me
It
a
is
sec.
interesting. It's quite interesting.
Your dice hate you. One sec.
You know, I've been rolling so good today. They had to get me back for one.
A fumbled lance roll while jousting indicates the jouster did something terribly wrong, such as striking his foe's horse or falling without being struck, as well as uselessly shivering his lance. So, yeah,
Okay.
it could be anything bad. It's not good. It's not good to do.
Striking your foe's horse can be it. Hey, I like that. Hold on one sec. I need to get this. I had
That's
stats for this guy that I lost. I got him now. All right. So Well, let's see how he tests, because this could be different.
Double fumble. Give me a double fumble.
You both fall over just off your horses before you can get into a trot.
That would be amazing. Just
All right, now
All
we
of
throw
this
mud at each
build-up.
other.
Yes. Now we settle this like gentlemen.
I'm fighting a goblin. Oh, I saw the word fumble and I realized I got really excited, but it was actually my roll.
Okay. So he does strike. So you're going to take this for damage. And then he's gonna have to test actually he let's write it this way. Deals Dalan damage and then what he takes because you just killed his steed.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that was the best fumble I've ever had. Probably not great, though, because I've kind of ruined the whole shtick.
A little. That poor horse.
I'm gonna say, and I've got a really good explanation for this. Oh wow.
Oh, dear.
Jesus.
21, you say?
That is not the worst. You get to use your armor and your shield apply, or you don't get to. Yeah, you don't get to use your shield on that, but you do get to use your armor. So you take, and you would be back to full health if you lost any.
Gotcha. Yeah. So
Time works differently.
yeah, so my armor's chainmail, I believe. What is that?
10
10 points? Okay.
points.
Oh, thank God.
So 10. So you only take 11.
All right, that's only going to drop me down to a 13 instead of a 3.
From full? That takes
Yeah,
you down 13?
from full.
Okay. All right. You, as Dalan charges against him, got nighttime music. This thing.
He took more damage from falling off his horse than you did from being stabbed.
Assuming that he doesn't have armor as well.
It's fully up. But
yeah, his armor's probably just as good.
He doesn't get to apply his armor to the fallings.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. All right,
armor
cool.
does
Feeling
not
good about
help.
that then.
You can't deflect the earth.
Kill the horse, you monster.
Okay. So, as the two of you charge each other, his steed becomes more visible to you, and you see that he is in fact riding a giant boar with long tusks, and it's terrible and terribly frightening. I'm thinking that Dalan, in sheer sort of abject horror about this thing charging at her, probably positioned their lance right at the beast rather than at the opponent.
It was quite frightening. Yeah.
And what is your knockdown score?
My knockdown score, like what it takes to knock me over.
Yeah.
13, not super high.
But you only took 11, so you're okay. So
yeah,
you did one of those things where you manage to stay on your horse, but you go way back. You almost leave the back end of your horse, but you manage to stay up. It takes you a minute to position yourself back up. You see that he has tumbled and hit the ground hard, and you see him pull out what looks like a giant mace, much bigger than him.
Dalan, for a moment, considers charging again. And there's something racing in Dalan's head about whether or not it is right to charge this man now that the horse has been taken out. Because that's not supposed to happen, right? Like, that's That would be considered dishonorable, would it not?
You could call for him to yield, and then you could do as you like, honestly. In the days of perfect chivalry, like, would Goratrix get off his horse? Probably. But, like, that's almost idealism to a fault, and you could die from it, right? So you do have the upper hand. You could call for yield, and if he does not yield, then it would be your call.
Here's the thing.
You do know that when he struck you, too, your armor is just dyed red in that area where you got hit.
Yeah, very badly hurt.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think Dalan's having a little bit of an existential crisis right now.
Yeah.
And I think they are actually considering that dying here in this way would not be the worst thing. So
Got it.
I think Dalan might kind of keep at a distance on the horse and call out to the knight. He goes, "I'm sorry I killed your beast. It was not intentional."
Coward. You've wounded me. That will be the last time.
Perhaps, but I don't think it quite fair of me to fight you on this horse. Not when you've given me a chance to defend myself in your home.
Oh? Then you're a
And-
fool. You have the upper hand.
Would you rather me take it?
Do as you like, liar. And with that, he begins to swing his, I said mace, didn't I? Earlier?
You did, yes.
I meant, like ball and chain.
Yeah. One of the
Flail.
flails, yeah.
Yeah, flail.
Um,
That's the
Dalan-
swinging. It would be kind of pointless to swing a mace for him.
Dalan is going to get as much
For
distance
emphasis.
Yeah.
as he can, as they can, and get off the horse. I'm gonna do it.
Are you?
Your
Okay.
inner Goratrix is very worried but very proud.
Okay. I'm going to give you a automatic free tick on Valorous and Reckless.
Hell yeah. I have both of those things. Alright, this might be the end of Sir Dalan, but
Don't die.
I can't make any promises. If he hits me once, it could very well be it. Alright. So, swords drawn. I believe I have a shield. I'm still using those.
Indeed. And because he is using this giant ball and chain, it is not one-handed. He has no shield.
I see. Alright. Alright, who strikes? Me or them?
It is contested.
Contested. That's right. Okay, so I will roll for my thing.
By the way, we will want to at some point go over the rules. Like, there are things you can do, like feint and stuff like that in this game.
Right, like
We should-
tactics and shit.
yeah, just because
Okay.
there might be one day something you actually want to do other than just roll against the other person.
I have the rule book somewhere. I'd be happy to look over that stuff in my free time.
It might be cool too, if we ever wanted to get a session together that wasn't on a Sunday and just chat with the open camera on. People love that stuff too. Right?
Oh, yeah, that would be cool. I'd like that. Ooh. Oh, yeah, 14 out of 15, by the way.
All right. Good.
Oh, he's better than me. Oh, no.
So there is a really good point here. You got the higher number, which means that you win the trade. He could apply his shield, but doesn't have one, so he'll be taking your full damage here.
Ah, very nice. Very nice. Okay, so damage 5d6. I am going to roll that. That is a 14. Certainly could have been worse.
That was pretty bad. But he doesn't have a shield, so that won't be soaked entirely. He does have reinforced chainmail because he's from a different time. So that is a 12. So he takes 2 damage. But
oh, Dalan's gonna fucking die.
this is one of those things where, you have to close the gap and get in close, and it's not the most ideal situation. You find an opportunity as he swings towards you. You manage to duck it and kind of take a quick overhead swing with your blade, and it's enough to kind of knock him back a little bit, but that's it. It doesn't really draw any blood or do any significant. And then we're back to the same scenario.
All right, I shall roll again and hopefully not die. Not as good a success. 11 out of 15. Oh, the gods are with me tonight.
All right, so you managed to be in a very similar scenario. Let's see how Dalan rolls here. And let's see, I might not have this on stream. So. Oh no, I'm showing on stream.
20
Ooh,
damage that time.
That's
so
much better.
Much better.
All right, so and I'm keeping his health going for the folks to watch here, anyways. I think this one, Dalan gets a really good strike. Do you want to explain maybe what happens? You have to dodge his throw of the ball and chain again.
Yeah. As it kind of crashes into the ground, I think Dalan's going to actually like put a boot onto it and try to hold it down and just go for a really strong stab right in his in his side.
And obviously, with the armor itself, it doesn't go all the way through him. It doesn't run him through, but you can see almost this green and black goo sort of painting his armor, just like your armor is being painted red. And he looks quite wounded at this point.
I do not wish to kill you, but I will do what I must. Yield.
I will not yield. And with that, he readies himself again.
Then as my brother and my father trained me, your death will be theirs to claim. All right, here we go.
All right.
Oh, that's really not good.
Hey, he failed!
Oh my god.
So this is probably a thing where you saw your life flash, like Dalan saw their life flashing before their eyes as this ball and chain. Probably, I'm thinking you duck it, but just barely, like it just about took off your head.
It's one of those things where it was more his bad footing than Dalan's skill.
Yeah. And just to be clear, this guy has a 20 strength. So you can see, like, I'm thinking the ball actually connects with the tree behind you and, like,
just
breaks
clips
the
it in half.
tree. Yeah. Like, takes
Oh,
a huge
God.
chip out of the tree like an axe might.
All right.
But you're successful.
All right, let's roll that damage. 18. Oh, I don't think that gets him, but it's got him close.
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. So 18 minus 12 is so 6. What were you at? 10? Yeah. So not quite. He's down to 4 though. Let me just see. I'm gonna check one thing. Oh, it's a test something.
Should he be at
No.
6? Because 20 minus 12 would be 8, not 10. Or would be 12. Would have been 8 damage. Oh, never mind. I'm talking crazy. Ignore me.
He has the 22 minus 12 would have left 10 damage.
Yeah,
And
I can see that now. I was goofing it. Forgive me.
either or. Thomas, can you check something for me?
Of course, what you need?
The unconscious, is that does that when the score that says unconscious, is that when you fall for sure? Is there a test?
I lost.
Let me quickly check. As a character loses hit points, reaches a point where it becomes unconscious, equal to total hit points divided by 4. Characters with current hit points below the unconscious value are out of action. The moment the character goes below, slumps slowly to the ground, staggering a few yards, gently sliding off his horse before collapsing.
All right. So he falls to the ground, but he's on all fours. His weapon's out of his hand. There's really no need to call for a yield at this point. Whether he means to or not, the fight is over. Dalan is victorious.
Dalan just kind of like adrenaline's starting to leave and the situation somewhat resolved. Like suddenly just feels the weight of their armor and the injury and just Are you still alive over there?
Fight like him.
Like who?
Sir Dalan of Durnford. Or at least that's what he was known. You asked. You took this duel. Succeeded. I offered you one wish. Name it. If it is in my power, I will grant it.
Dalan thinks carefully. Goes, might I ask you a few questions before I make a decision?
He shakes his head. Do not treat my enemies, but I will answer to what.
Dalan thinks very carefully. And then walks over to the other knight and crouches down. Goes, I wish only for safe passage home. There is not more that I desire from you.
He laughs at that. No, that was already within the bargain. My being wouldn't allow me to let you leave with such a petty ask. It is your right as the victor.
And I yield my right. I do not wish for anything that I can't obtain myself. I don't want you to grant me anything. You have fought me and I have succeeded, so accept my wish.
He looks up at you, confused. Well, it's such a golden opportunity. Why would you, maiden, such a thing?
For two reasons. One, a great deal of men have fallen to great depths in the search of great heights and the easy path. I learned from my brother and my father that the easy path is very rarely the correct one to take. It is not my path to walk. And two, because I, for better or for worse, whether I like it or not, I am no longer a maiden. I am a knight, and I hold true to that in my heart.
He He'll stand at that point. It's like a slow, staggering stand. He moves over slowly, limping towards his dead steed or his fallen steed. He pulls a sword from it. No. By the laws of your lands, you are a maiden. Kneel.
Dalan looks very surprised and then understands in a flash of just such mixed emotions. And Dalan does so.
By the courts of the Unseelie, I knight you, Sir Elizabeth.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll fade. Congratulations. What you want to do with that and what that means is not necessarily clear, but it happens. So that's the
Oh,
Yeah, it's
dude.
good stuff.
And
It
you-
has been it's been so long since I've had a character that had such a defined arc in my eyes. Like, I know exactly what I want to do with this. I'm so excited.
You also get 200 glory because you actually did beat the Goblin Knight with that fumble situation. So
Oh god, what a mess.
that could have went really poorly. That would have been 7d6 damage every time they hit you. So
Oh,
Dude,
yeah, you got super lucky. One less, that would have been a crit, and
I didn't lose. Dude, I didn't lose a single part of that duel, which is insane because look at my rolls. One of them was a 2.
Yeah.
I think Soren, the goddess of luck, was on my side. That's what I think.
right,
200 glory.
200
Correct.
glory. And we haven't done the glory count for the Summerland invasions, but I will do that at the end of the year, guys.
Cool.
I don't think I have anymore. And for Mark and Thomas for witnessing the Cadwy thing, I can't remember if I marked anything there or not, but just make a note. I owe you for witnessing Cadwy and Uther meeting. That's like a historical moment, right? For those are always glorified moments. Just being a witness, like when someone
Gotcha.
has a
I'll make a
coronation. You guys are good for one more scene, Thomas?
Yes, I should be fine.
About 20
Depending
minutes?
on, it will be good. Yeah.
I'm good until midnight, so.
Oh, dude.
We'll wrap it in.
And that's when you turn into a pumpkin.
That's when I turn into a pumpkin. I gotta get off air, otherwise I'll be a pumpkin on stream. And I gotta tell you guys, I don't even have my camera up. It's not gonna be that exciting for you guys.
Curses.
All right. So we're gonna cut to so this scene will take place in and I'm not gonna change everything, but it'll take place in Sarum. It is the two of you together, and you're waiting. So this is Edward and Goratrix. You're waiting on whoever you're supposed to speak with at this point. You're not sure if it's the Count or the knight that quested you. I can't remember which of the knights actually put you on this. I think it was the one that was going to build Tilshed, right? The
I believe
cupbearer?
the cupbearer.
Yeah.
I believe it was the
Cupbearer.
cupbearer.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Which I gave you their name, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. I will look it up while we quickly do this. You would assume that they're the one that's going to, beat with you right now in Sarum.
Yeah.
So we'll maybe pick up the scene with the two of you together.
All right.
Of the three of us, I think Goratrix has had the most normal, stress-free time. But even with that in mind, Edward would be able to instantly clock that Goratrix is out of his element the moment he arrived at Sarum. He is wearing traveling clothes and not armor, though the armor is in a big bag on his horse. And he is in his nicest clothes that still fit him, which are okay. But yeah, he the moment he sees Edward and like as they've been talking, he's been like flashing the "help me" eyes.
Edward himself would be dressed in kind of nice clothing, but specifically he would have like a single one of his pauldrons on his shoulder, kind of held together with a leather strap, and he would still have his sword at his side. He would just kind of be sitting there, very uncomfortable, just looking over to Goratrix with a kind of a, "No, you help me first. What are we doing here?"
And like responding to the unspoken question, he says, "I don't know. This was so much easier when I thought Dalan would be here."
Where is Sir Dalan?
I've been looking.
Dead, right?
No. Of all of the combatants, we accounted for most of them. We went through the bodies, and well, I mean, someone would have told for unspecified reasons. Anyway,
it is frustrating.
It is. And my uncle's trying to get me married to. This I will count as an omen for whether or not that will go well. I feel my ancestors screaming in the back of my mind. I feel like there's a way I can do this smoothly. What are we supposed to do? Like, talk him up? Are we wingmen?
I don't know. I think we are simply supposed to find what is the best for our lord. I don't know.
Bob,
Yeah.
I would like to do something.
Yeah, sure.
This is the lowest possible stakes I can imagine doing it. I would like to invoke my passion.
Didn't you already do that this year, buddy?
Just before you do this, it's kind of good for like a scene kind of thing. So
yes,
you are not. You're in Sarum right now. This is not where you're to meet. This is not your mission.
Thank Christ.
Yeah.
In that case, yes.
This is the start of a meeting.
This is the start of the convoy to go there. Okay,
Yeah.
got you. I will be doing it then, because I find it absolutely amusing that heated battle is perfectly fine, and he's done that without evoking his passion. He will need it if he is to survive this. But yeah, as he's like psyching himself up, he goes, "All right, I think we can do this. Maybe."
So with that, you hear a softer, I wouldn't say softer, a slightly higher voice coming from the distance. Seems commanding in tone. And the two of you watch as the lady of the court enters. She has, she looks very well-to-do. She has blonde hair, and something on her face just tells you she is incredibly good at this sort of thing. She seems to be in charge. She has a couple of servants following her as she enters. She stops and looks at the two of you. She looks to Goratrix. Sir de Winterborn Stoke, I imagine. And then you must
are correct,
be
my lady.
Sir Idmiston. Where is Sir Durnford?
Yes.
She kind of blows right past you guys. Like the grating is like, yeah,
Okay.
Sir Durnford is unaccounted for.
Accounted for. What does that mean?
I've not been seen since the Battle of Summerland.
Ah, dead. That is a shame.
Not confirmed, but yes, it is possible.
Very well. I imagine you've been, Sir Mig has, and that's the name of the cupbearer, by the way, has brought you up to speed on our journey. It will be 9 days, so make sure you're well packed. We set out in 2 hours' time.
Indeed.
Yes.
I'm prepared for a travel.
Indeed.
I am.
We are
If I may
used
speak
to
frankly,
traveling.
sorry, you go.
Oh, yes, we are used to traveling. Everyone kind of says pointedly.
Yeah. And if I may be perhaps frank, I am not used to what we may be doing once we get there.
Ah, yes. It's really rather simple. We're to meet with uh, those would-be suitorettes, those who might catch our count's eye, and return with a recounting of their character. Are they the best match for our count? We know that with them being on this list, they have the right financial figures, let's say, to make the list. I think what we're there to do is find the right match. This is our third summer in doing so. The first two, unfortunately, did not work out well.
For what purpose, if I may ask?
What purpose? Well, one was too young and the other just wasn't right. I can give you those details on the way. It's really not important. This one, however, she is said to be rather beautiful. She is already of
That is
age,
important.
which means that she could marry the Count right away with little betrothal time. This would be beneficial to our Count. Sure. He is no young man, that is true.
Those are important qualities. But yes, we'll just take a look, see how she is. Yes, that is fine.
Any questions from you, Edward? Been rather quiet.
No questions at all. I'll just be happy to get this over with.
Very well. Well, shall the three of us be on our way?
Of course.
Yes, I think we shall.
Goratrix has brought 3 horses. One for riding, one for switching out the riding one, and one for pack stuff.
She has with her two other riders, likely not noblemen. Actually, one is a banner knight. Actually, not a banner knight, a household knight. He has a particular banner, and I will let both of you, if you wish, test heraldry.
Indeed. Let's see how it goes.
Go, heraldry.
Well, there's no surprise. Failure on my part. Oh, that was close for you. Just one moment, I'll be right back.
Fail sending.
Okay, so we're gonna say that for and it's more important for Mark anyways. You recognize it. You swear you've seen it. You're even able to place it, Mark. You're even able to place it like west of Sarum. You just can't figure out where. Obviously, it's very likely a Salisbury vassal, or else they would be along for this sort of.
Yeah. Interesting.
For his part, Goratrix knows nothing, but he is visibly very happy to have someone who knows what she's doing around that can give orders.
I think, by the way, it's absolutely hilarious that we somehow ended up with our most like politically savvy knight out of this particular bit.
Yeah.
Doing battle with fey creatures.
And all due to the way the dice fell on certain things.
Yeah.
Entertaining. All right. So she looks to you all and she says, "We ride to the Castle of Vigor to meet with Sir Edrin, Baron of Warcastle, and his sister, Lady Lilia."
Indeed so. And Lady Lillian, she is the suitor.
Sorry, Lilla. It's
Lady
double
Lilla.
L-Y double L-A.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Welsh. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this lady Lilla, she is the suitor.
She is. Is there anything the two of you need to know before we go?
Out of character, this is all happening in Salisbury, right? Or rather, the overall duchy, county.
She's this would you would assume. So she said 9 days ride. It's definitely in Logris.
Gotcha.
What would that be? Why don't you make recognize rolls actually? See if you know where Castle Vigor is.
No, absolutely not. 19.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah.
Let's see. Recognize. Unlikely.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, neither of you are familiar. 9 days ride doesn't sound terribly far. It would take you longer to get to Cornwall.
Mm. Well, indeed, I have no questions.
Then let us set out on our way.
Very
Yes.
well.
All right, guys. We're just gonna. Oh, I've got like sword fighting in the background here. Not doing very good with this music advantage.
Yeah, man, court gets wild sometimes.
Yeah.
Honestly, Goratrix would be pleased as punch if he just like acts as a bouncer instead of going. So, how would you rate yourself from 1 to 10 on a scale of would be a good suitor for my liege lord? He would smack someone. He would smack someone with a sword if they had a sword.
She, as you all are riding, she says, "You know, it is nice to be out on the road again, and I must say that the two of you make better company than Sir Mig."
You honor us, my lady.
Indeed. Tell me,
If he agrees
Sir
with her
de
to do
Winterbourne Stoke, what is it that motivates you on this path forward for our count?
Well, if the Count is of need of something, it is my duty as well as a knight under him to serve. And in many ways, this will be good for me and my family. And, well, honestly, it was a part of a trade, so I could dismantle a cult. That was the original thing, but now I'm invested.
A cult? Oh, you speak of
Yes,
the strangeness in the Shoot Forest.
indeed so. I and Sir Edward were part of it, and we needed. There was this whole thing with Merlin sending someone, and we needed to get a clandestine meeting between her and Sir Roderick. It was a thing. It was a proceeding.
My late husband set out with you on that journey. I've recently received the news of passing in Summerlin.
My condolences.
But yes, you had asked earlier about the journeys elsewhere, or why we've been at this for a couple of years. This is not abnormal. Sir Roderick, or Count Roderick, is a patient man. He wants to find the right wife to be, one who will be a countess after all. We
Indeed so.
ran into barriers with both. The first seemed promising, but she was so young, made at 13, though she would be 15 now. It would be very advantageous for our count, but there was tragedy and conflict that made it rather impossible for the time being. So our count has no other choice than elsewhere.
Mm.
As for Last year, well, that's another story. Again, not the right fit in my eye. But perhaps if you insist, after we've met Lady Lilla, we'll go with Lady Lilla, perhaps you can meet Lady Roslyn or Lady Elaine, if it should suit you. Or Lady Ellen. Right. Lady Roslyn, Lady Ellen.
We shall see. I trust your judgment beyond mine when it comes to matters such as this.
Likely wise. Tell me,
He nods.
Sir Edmiston, what is it?
Yes, my lady.
What is it you think? What is it you think would make the best Countess Salisbury?
A curious question. I'm not quite sure I'm fit to be asked or to answer such a thing. I suppose it would require one who is willing to put up with the Count.
Put up with. Was there? Road's best spoken on the road. And I can see that you're honest. That is a good sign. I will need that honesty when we meet with the Count. I urge you to be as truthful as any of your insights might offer to this potential match.
Of course. I will do my very best.
All right. I think we're going to wrap there, and we're going to pick up next session with a small feast at the Castle of Vigor.
Alrighty.
And
Very good.
so for Liam, hang on just a little bit longer. We're gonna have you there. We're still gonna do some cool side stuff with you.
Don't get me wrong. I had a great time. I am totally comfortable wherever this goes. So,
I mean, it did turn out. Sometimes tragedy in this game turns out to be your coolest side story.
was pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
It also could have ended up with you getting single hit KO'd after all your other. You know what I mean? So, like,
Indeed.
Yeah. All right.
Dalan, I've been looking for you everywhere. Did you go and do this fairy circle?
I fought a
Meanwhile,
goblin.
you spent 200 years here.
Okay, so we're going to do the real soft outro, and I think just say goodbye from all of us here, and we'll see you for part 2 next week. Farewell,
See you,
everyone.
everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye.